All right, getting more trade-ins easily and quickly. What's going on, everybody? David Feldman-Makrias back with you. It's been a minute since I've had a long-form video come out, but I'm glad to be back. So, what are we talking about today? Well, a lot of dealers that I represent are having harder times getting more used vehicles. Auctions have really steep prices. If new car sales volumes are affected, you're not getting as many used car trades. So what are some other ideas and avenues that are cost effective and deliver high quality? So long story short, we've run a meta ads campaign. We're using the ad campaign with some good creative and some original ad tech that actually plays with giving the customer an end range for their vehicle that can be KBB based or Black Book based, and essentially will give you parameters on how you can negotiate the deal. And it's a very frictionless process that's integrated inside meta ads where the customer actually doesn't need to leave Facebook or Instagram, wherever they see the ad. They don't need to leave that place. The user experience is flawless. Maybe not flawless, but it's better than a lot of other destination campaigns, and it's working. So the initial results are to my left. This has been a few weeks now since this text message has been launched. It's been, a few weeks. I'm going to read the little text snippet at the end here. It shows, from me reaching out to the client. We have about 7 leads so far for $12 cost per lead. And his feedback was, I think it will turn into some purchases, especially as we move forward. So what are the results right now? I can tell you we spent a little under $600. We have just about 40 leads. So if I do the math on that, 600 divided by 40, we're at a $15 cost per lead. So that's $12 cost per lead inched up a little bit. And with that, we have about 2 trades purchased. So, definitely there's some long tail leads in there. I think that we'll internalize and capitalize on more moving forward. A 2 out of 40, what conversion rate is that? That is a, 5% conversion rate, which I think that if we optimize the ad campaigns a little bit better and then we test some creative and we just keep refining the system, it should get better. The store personnel also did update me that their buyers missed out on a few deals. Like, they had a couple of set appointments for people to come in with vehicles that were actually really respectable as far as trade value. They're in the $40,000 to $50,000 range, and they're trying to get out of a situation. Not just the $500 jalopy vehicle that is really not worth much except for a wholesale item. Trust me, there's plenty of those. Those are in there, but. They told me that they did miss out on a few of those items, and we have a lot to work with. We have a lot of meat on the bone. And these are the real types of results you probably get, right? We're not miracle workers in essence. We're realistic about the results we get. But it's great to see some of the initial results because this text message combines like some of the first week's data. 7 leads so far, $12 cost per lead. And the management staff at this point said that they haven't had any purchases, but they think they will move forward and turn out as purchases. They are turning out as purchases. They have 2. They have over 40 plus leads, a lot to work with. We're going to fine tune the system, fine tune the copy, and we're realistic about the results. Not everything cracks on the first at bat, but it's really about doing the consistent things about communicating, fine-tuning the message, making sure the audience is correct for that market, trying a different ad example, utilizing the right ad tech, adjusting the ad parameters. And that's just the stuff we do day in and day out that makes us different, right? I don't like to say, these are the how do I say? I don't want to promise the moon and the stars in anything. We can't. It's not realistic. If we hit it out of the park, I've had a couple grand slams, right? I definitely have. Been in this space for a decade plus. I've had a couple of grand slams, but not every at-bat turns into a grand slam. But this is a base hit. And we want to keep getting base hits because enough base hits, are going to win. They're going to win games. So that's what I'm excited about. And how do we, I think of Moneyball with Brad Pitt because I don't know if anybody's ever seen that before, but you have that movie, and initially the plan is great in theory, but it doesn't play out, and then they go way down. But it just takes the work and consistency of Billy Beane and the staff to try and get to where they got to go, and then they break the American lead record at the end of the movie with a team that doesn't cost as much money as the New York Yankees. Same kind of thing here. You're not going to hit a grand slam out of the park every single time, but if we can get some base hits and we can do some of the things right, we can keep moving it forward. That consistency, that's what my team brings to the table. The innovativeness and the team consistency, that's what we bring to the table. That's what we're looking forward to doing with serving all of our other customers and clients. And I'm just real excited to be here and be back. And let me know what questions you have on more of this. I could show you ad campaign details and audience targeting and really just start to get into the nitty-gritty about how you can actually prepare yourself to have grand slams. So thank you so much, David Feldman-Makrias, and we'll talk to you real soon.